welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be doing a little makeup look. It's a Charlotte Tilbury inspired one that I've seen loads on Instagram and it just looks beautiful and I've wanted to basically try out this makeup look. I'll show you it quickly on my phone in a minute, but my base is already done, or I say my base, my foundation and concealer is already done because I'm actually testing this foundation out today, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Foundation. I'm doing a first impression and wear test on this foundation, so I thought how fitting, I may as well do the Charlotte Tilbury inspired look as I'm wearing her foundation today. That will already be up, so I'll link that at the end of the video so you can go and check that out. But this is the stunning makeup look that I've seen on Instagram. Sorry, you can see my ring light, I know, but it's sort of a very shimmery, glam, smoky look, but it's got lots of pink tones, and it's quite a romantic, sexy date night kind of look. So I don't think I've ever really done a look like this before, so I'm just going to give it a go basically. It looks like there's a little bit of crease shade, but the shimmer actually travels quite far up into the crease and it looks really, really pretty. So I'm just going to play around with it and see what we come up with basically. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm doing. Still loving my new camera, by the way. It's very exciting. I mean, I say it like I've had it for days. I've filmed one other video with it, which is this first impression on this, and I'm filming this on the same day, so I've literally had it about 2 hours, but I'm obsessed with my new camera. Sorry if I keep looking in the viewfinder. It's really hard not to because I'm not used to being able to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to try and make sure I look here. Probably going to be saying that for the next few videos until I'm used to it. But let's get started. So I think I'm going to start with the skin purely because she has got like a really just sort of, oh, that's great, light bronzy, not even a contour, it's just a very light bronze and flash across the cheeks. So I'm gonna do that and try not go too heavy. Usually I love loads of bronzer, but I'm gonna try and use it quite lightly. Now ironically, I'm not actually using any Charlotte Tilbury products today other than my foundation that is already on, purely because I just don't have them. It's quite an expensive brand. As much as I love it, I try and be somewhat good with my spending now when it comes to makeup. When I first got into makeup, there was no filter. I used to spend money on it all the time, but now I'm at an age where I want to move out and stuff, so I try and be good, but that's literally the only reason I haven't got more of her stuff, because I think all of her products are beautiful. They look amazing. But I do have a little dupe for you, which is the W7 Hollywood palette, and it looks like her, it's a dupe for sort of Charlotte Tilbury's bronzing and sculpting, or whatever it is, bronze and highlight duo that she sells. Probably doesn't work as well, but it's going to do the job today. I still literally love this and it's £5, but obviously I don't know how well it performs in comparison to hers because I haven't used it. But I'm going to take the bronze just to contour, and I'm taking this tiny little brush from Autograph. It's actually for blusher, but it's such a good size for sort of contouring and just really blending it out. It's super soft and I just think it works really well. I'm going to tap off excess because I want it to be quite a light contour. I'm just going to swirl that along the bottom of my cheekbone, and then I'm going to blend it upwards slightly. This is actually quite a cool tone bronzer, but it has got a little bit of shimmer in, which makes it look really nice and natural, quite skin-like. And then I'm going to warm it up a little bit with blush, but I'm trying to go subtle. Usually I would go ham with my bronzer, but I'm really trying not to do that because the girl in the picture or video does not have that. And then any excess on my brush, I'm just going to sort of run over my nose and then pick more up and go just along my hairline, because I always bronze here. I can't remember if hers was like that in the video, but I always bronze here, so I'm going to stick with doing that because I really like how it looks. Not too heavily again, but yeah. And again, any excess I'm just going to sort of tap on my nose. And then I'm also going to just enhance my jawline. Lovely, I'm actually going to zoom you in a bit more. God, I can't tell you how excited it is having a camera that I can properly zoom in on and it not go a bit funny. With my other one, I could only zoom in to a certain point and then it would go a little bit pixelated, I'd lose the quality a bit. But this one, you can still see what I'm doing. It's very bloody exciting. To stick with the pinky tones, and in the video it looks like the girl has quite sort of a plummy pinky blusher. I'm going to stick with that, and I'm just going to take this Collection Soft Glow blusher, which is actually really pretty. It's in the shade 4 Trouble, and it's a nice sort of dusky mauvey pink, but it does have shimmer to it. It's a bit reflective, which is really nice because it just helps add to that natural look. And the girl in the video had like really glowy, beautiful skin. My foundation I'm testing out is actually matte, so I kind of want to add as much glow where I can to get the same sort of look that she has. So I'm just picking up some of that product, tapping it off, and I'm going to just really sort of do a weird smile so you get the apples of my cheeks, and then sort of really lightly do circular motions, buffing it in on the apples of my cheeks and blending it backward in towards the bronzer. It's hard because most of my blushes are like peachy tones. I've got that pink one, but I don't think it is plummy enough, so I'm actually going to take this Colourpop one in the shade Aphrodisiac, and again that's quite like a plummy deep blush. It actually looks gross, I've had it a little while, but I'm just going to use that to kind of deepen the colour in the cheeks. You could always use an eyeshadow if you don't have the right sort of tone blush, but that will do for me. I never use pinky tones either, so my highlight is always sort of a champagne-y, peachy, goldy kind of in that spectrum. It's all very warm tones, but I'm actually going to use a more pinky tone highlight. I have used this once in one of my other videos, but it's from one of my favourite palettes, which I'm sure you know if you've been watching me for a while, the Be Perfect Carnival palette, which is a collaboration with Stacey Marie MUA. This is my like everyday highlight or every occasion highlight. I use it all the time, and it's in the shade Sinner, and it's quite like a bronzy peachy gold highlight. However, this is a more pinky tone, and I'm going to use this today. This is in the shade Saint. So I'm just going to pick it up with a fan brush. Again, tap off excess because I want to slowly build it up. And I'm going to sweep that across the tops of my cheeks and then blend it down into my blusher, just so it's kind of got an even glow rather than just a stripe of highlighter, if that makes sense. I just find it makes it look more natural and pretty. And I'm also going to run it along my brow bone. Oh wow, I just dipped into the wrong highlighter. Let's brush that off. And again, slightly above my brow bone as well, the arch of my brow. I've just confused myself, but you know what I mean. This is so beautiful. I don't know why I don't use this shade of highlight more often actually, because it's not too pink. It's actually really, really nice. And then finally I'm just going to pop a bit on the tip of my nose. Ooh, and then this little bit as well. I like to put it, and then any excess I just run along the top of my lip. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that looks. Whoa, look at that glow. I mean, can you ever have too much highlight? I think not. Now to get started with the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using several palettes to achieve this colour, I think, to be honest, because I don't really have a set palette that's got all the colours that I need in one. I think most of the colours I need actually are going to be in this palette, which is the Girls with Attitude palette. I can't remember I think it is just called the Rose Gold palette. My label fell off on the back, but I think it's called the Rose Gold palette. I'll link it down below if I can find it, but it's got loads of beautiful sort of shimmers and lots of nice pinky tones and kind of nudie pink. So I think, yeah, I'm going to go with this for the most part. I'm going to start with this shade here, which is called Rosewood, and it's kind of like a deep mauve pink transition shade. Again, I'm going to pick some up and then tap off the excess because I want to build this up really lightly. There wasn't anything particularly harsh in the video. It was all kind of very soft and blurred and beautiful. So I'm gonna start on the outer part of my crease and then bring it inwards when there's a little bit of excess on the brush. And I'm just going to keep dipping in and building that up until I'm sort of happy with how that looks. I'm actually zooming you in even more because I can. And so you can see. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that transition shade. So I think the centre colour is sort of similar to this shade I've got here. It actually looks a little bit more pink on camera, but this is in the shade Dahlia, and I'm gonna take my finger and see how that works, but I'm just gonna press that in the centre of my lid. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a brush for it. It'll be easier to build up. Just going to take just a flat eyeshadow brush. Can't remember. This might even be a Primark one, to be honest. But I'm going to pick up the Dahlia shade on there. And I'm going to build it up in the centre. Or start at the centre, I should say. And then move to the outer part of my eye. Okay, I am getting a lot of fallout. Don't panic if this happens. I'm just going to take my setting brush. I'm literally going to flick it off. Like, I barely felt that on my skin. You have to be really light. And just flick it off. And it's gone. Might actually try this wet so that I don't get fallout. The only thing then is they can be a bit funny to blend, but we'll just see how it goes. It actually does pay off a lot more pink than I thought it would, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of that again, but I'm going to move that to the outer part of my eye, and I'm going right up into the crease because that's how the girl had it in the video. It was sort of shimmery all the way up, so I'm just going to sort of stamp that on, and I will blend the crease out in a bit so you can see how it looks. What is that beeping outside? I'm just using this to create the nice angled sort of cat eye wing shape as well. Okay, so I've done that sort of from the centre of my eye to the outer part, and I'm going to just do the same on the other eye too. I'm going to take the same brush that I used for my transition shade and just blend the crease. And I'm just going to actually take a different fluffy brush and dip into that shimmery shade again and actually build that up in the crease because I want it to be shimmery, which is like totally breaking makeup rules, and I love it. Makes your eyelid look bigger as well. It's actually a really nice look, I personally think. Now I actually think the centre part was a little bit less pink and was a bit more nude, so I'm going to take this shade here, whoa, which is called Copper Quartz, and that's more of a rose gold coppery colour, funnily enough. I've actually cleaned off that brush. I'm going to take the same one again because it doesn't matter too much because I kind of want to blend the two together. So I'm going to pick up some of that Copper Quartz, give it a little spritz. I'm just using an e.l.f. setting spray, Makeup Mist and Set. You can literally use whichever one you like. It makes no difference. I'm still going to tap off any excess, and then I'm going to place that in the centre of my lid and a little bit further over towards the inner part, just so we get a bit of a gradient. And again, making sure I'm going into my crease. Just check the video again, and I think I actually need to bring that colour further in. So I'm going to bring that almost to the very inner corner, basically, of my eye, but I'm leaving a tiny little gap. So as you can see, I've sort of brought it to the very corner. Looks a mess at the moment, but fear not, we will be blending it. And then we're just gonna swish into the crease. And just really blend this out now. I'm gonna take the time to really blend it. And then I'm gonna take another Spectrum fluffy brush. I'm gonna go into the kind of, actually I'm going to use this rose gold colour just to kind of tie the pinks in together and really bring those two colours together. And it's on a fluffy brush, so it's not going to be really pigmented, but I just want to sweep that into the crease to again enhance the shimmer whilst blending out that harsh line. This is the sort of look where you have to sort of build up and take away loads. So I'm just going to take this crimson shade now, which is a really deep sort of berry colour, and I'm just putting that on the very outer part of the eye. I don't want this to travel in too much, but I just want to deepen the outer V up just to give it a bit more dimension. Again, I'm using a flat brush, the same one to be honest. I'm just going to kind of blend that in as much as I can, and then take the fluffy brush again and just sort of blend that very outer part. That's better, that's looking more like it. I'm now going to take a really small, let's cover my face, really small flat brush, and I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Opal, and it's kind of like a champagne-y colour, but it's almost got like a tiny bit of pink reflect. I'm just going to pick that up on this tiny flat brush. I really like this brush because it helps give a lot of precision, and again I'm going to spray it. I'm just going to pat that on the inner part of my eye. I will blend it in a minute, don't worry, and my inner corner just to brighten up that section. I'm just using one side of this brush, by the way, because I want to use the other side in a minute for another colour, so I like to just try and use one side of it. I'm kind of slowly blending that into the pinky shade. Wow, this is actually really pretty. Oh, I love how that looks. And again, I'm going to kind of put it a little bit into the crease, and hers seems to go sort of a bit above the highlighter colour, kind of seems to come a bit above the pinky shades, if that makes sense, in the crease. So I'm going to kind of just blend it up, and that helps really open the eye up as well. It actually looks so pretty. Oh my god, look how nice that is. Why have I never done a look like this before? That actually looks so nice with the highlighter coming right up to here, because it really opens up the eye. I know it needs blending, don't worry, I am going to sort that, but that just looks so nice. Like at this angle, it really makes your eye pop. And then to blend it, I'm going to take the pinky highlighter shade and the other side of this brush, and then I'm gonna sort of pop that in between the two just to help get more of a pinky tone. I feel like I need a tiny bit more pink to sort of blend the two colours together so it's not as harsh. So I'm going to take a little bit of this rose gold and just put that where the deeper pink and the opaly colour meet. Oh my god, I love it. It's so pretty. The only thing I want to change is actually highlight my brow bone a little bit more. So I'm going to take a small tapered, this is actually an eyeshadow brush but I use it for highlighter, dunk it into the pink highlighter that I used, and then I really want to highlight my brow bone so we are shimmery all over. I'm going to come back to the eyeshadow for underneath my eyes later, but now I'm going to go in with eyeliner. I love this eyeliner. It is the Diego Della Palma. I think you can get this in Marks and Spencer's. 01 in, it's just their eye pencil in black 01. And I'm going to line my tight line and my waterline with this. This is a really creamy pencil, but I'm just crap at lining my tight line and waterline. I've got to look down. And then what I'm going to do is sort of just slowly smudge it along my lash line above. Her liner is sort of really smoked out and not too harsh. I'm being quite messy with it, to be honest, because I want it to be smoky, and I'm going to blend it out a bit anyway. And then she's kind of got a bit of a wing, but nothing, again, nothing too harsh. It just sort of smokes out in an angled shape. So I'm going to sort of roughly do just a little wing with the liner, but I want it, I'm using a really light hand because I don't want it to be harsh. I want it to look sort of like a smudged line like so, and I'm also going to run it along my lower lash line just to sort of smudge it out. I literally put the pencil on its side like upright like this and run the side of the pencil along where my lower lashes are, and I'm making sure it's sort of a bit thicker on the outside and then gets a bit thinner towards the centre. I'm now going to take this really thin sort of fluffy pencil brush. I'm going to dip into the black that's in this palette just on the very edge, again tapping off the excess, mainly because this palette gives a lot of fallout. If you don't get a lot of fallout then you wouldn't have to worry so much about tapping off. But then I'm going to really lightly sort of go over the eyeliner on this outer part of my eye and just one, blend it, and two, deepen it up just a tiny bit. And I'm going to do the same on the lower line but only on the outer part. I'm then taking this fluffy angled brush. I'm going into that first shimmery colour that I initially took called Dahlia. I'm going to tap that off and I'm going to kind of run that underneath my eye, and I'm going to build it up underneath until you can kind of see a little bit of the pinky tone coming through under the black line. But I don't want to bring it down too far under my eyes. And I think I'm actually really happy with how that looks now, so I'm just going to pop on some mascara. So I'm going to use the W7 Absolute Lashes. I think I've explained before, this isn't like the best mascara I've ever used, but I love the brush on it, so I like to do a decent layer with this. I'm actually going to try and build these up so I don't wear false lashes today, because I don't want to wear them basically. No, I want to really sort of let the eyeshadow do all the talking, and I don't want to cover half of that up by putting some false lashes on. I think the girl in the video is wearing false lashes, but they're very natural fluffy ones, so I'm just going to try and achieve a similar look with my natural lashes by building up layers of mascara. I'm actually now going to go in with another W7 mascara, and it's W7 Big Lash. This makes your lashes go really dark and it's a really nice formula, but I don't like the brush as much, so I tend to do a layer of this in between layers of the other W7 one I just used, if that makes sense. And now I'm going back in with the other W7 mascara just to really separate those lashes and make them look super fluffy. And now I'm going to do a layer on my lower lashes, again focusing mainly on the outer part just because I like how that looks on my eye. I really like these sort of cat eye shapes, so I prefer to focus most of the heavier makeup on the outer part of my eye just to help give that illusion. I think I've achieved quite a nice level of mascara on my lashes with that. I'm quite impressed. So this is the finished eye look. Love how it looks. I think it's such a pretty look. It's so nice to take inspiration from other people's work sometimes, because otherwise you kind of get stuck doing your same old makeup look, which I usually do, and I usually pretty much always go for warm tones, and I never ever really go for pinky tones, so it's really nice to do it like this. And I don't usually put shimmer in my crease, and this highlighter bit, bringing it right up here, I actually love how that looks, so I think I'm going to do that more in future. But yeah, it's just really nice to try something different. So now let's fill in the lips. She's got quite kind of like a raspberry mauvey pink kind of lip. I'm not very good when it comes to explaining shades and stuff, but I'm gonna line my lips with this W7 lip liner in the shade Champagne. Right, so that is the lips lined. I'm now going to try and achieve the same colour without having the same lipstick that she's got. So I'm going to use the Primark PS Lip Plaster in the shade, wow that is tiny, I can't read that, Rosewood. It looks so much darker in the packaging, but it is not that colour, don't worry. It comes out sort of, oh yeah, the right kind of colour really. That is a little bit more darker and purpley than I want, so I'm now actually going to use a Charlotte Tilbury product. I'm going to use the what is this, the Kissing lipstick, I think it is, in the shade Bitch Perfect, and this is more of a nudie pink. I think these two mix will kind of give me that sort of perfect shade. That's better. That's actually pretty flipping close. I've literally wiped all the excess off on my hand. I look like I've been attacked by a makeup bag. So this is the completed look. I actually really love how it looks. Like I said, I love doing the eyeshadow a bit differently. The only thing I would do next time is, wouldn't go so heavy on the black, and I think I probably would do my waterline, because that actually makes my eyes look smaller. I might do that if I was going on a night out and wearing falsies, but if I wanted to keep it with just natural lashes, I probably wouldn't do waterline. I would just smoke the eyeshadow under my eye and leave it at that, and I would possibly even use brown eyeliner next time just to get a softer, smokier look. So I think mine has kind of come out a little bit more harsh than the model's, but let's compare anyway. I'd say our lip colour is quite a good match, but sorry, it's really hard to see with the ring light. Let's try again. Mine is just, my lip colour is just shiny, and she used a matte lip, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I haven't done like a colourful, well, not this massively colourful, but a colourful makeup look, sorry, I'm putting my sock back on, in ages, or one that I've kind of taken inspiration from someone else's picture. I just haven't really played around with makeup that much recently. I've just been testing foundations, so it's really nice to do a makeup look. If there's any other sort of makeup looks you've seen on Instagram, or celebrity makeup looks you've seen that you'd like me to recreate, then just let me know in the comments down below and I'll do a video on that for you. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're loving my new camera. I am. I get so excited each time I look in the viewfinder. I'm like, oh my god, that looks really good quality. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, click the notification bell as well so you never miss one of my videos, and I will see you very soon, hopefully.